Papa? Just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 136, American Reveille Podcast. Papa, I wish Joe Rogan was my dad. I would call him right now for the biggest, fattest allowance check. Dad, can I have some money? I'm trying to start the American Reveille LLC, and you've got $150 million, and I don't. Folks, Joe Rogan must be looking in the mirror at 3 a.m. and going, how the hell did I get here from some kid sidekicking heavy bags in Boston, Massachusetts in the 90s? Folks, Dr. Fauci, the White House, they've all shit on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan asked an important question about vaccines. Not a bad question, not an illegitimate question, not an evil question. He talked about prioritizing. He talked about the risk of death being lower for young people than it is for old people. He talked about how older people should take the vaccine first before younger people. And what happened? He was denounced, condemned, and basically pooped all over by the likes of the evil Dr. Fauci and Biden and the Harris Kamalas, the Kamala Harrises, the Joe Bidenins, I say so many of these acronyms and names and syllables, but honestly, it's because I don't care. It's because they're idiots. Literally. Joe Rogan is a freaking UFC commenter. He's a cage fighting commenter. He's a funny comedian. He has a great podcast. He's worth a crap ton of money. Joe cannot be touched by Biden. Joe cannot be touched by Fauci. This is laughable. But, you know, there's a lot of Joe Rogan fans out there. And Fauci, the government, the Biden administration, they've all stepped over their reach. So I thought this would be an entertaining, fun story to talk about. I thought it would be interesting just because this is from the Daily Wire, and it's an article that kind of takes us forward from the original Joe Rogan comment, because Joe Rogan kind of cleaned up his statement and clarified himself on his last podcast. And I wanted to see whether or not it was him kissing the left's ass or him as a normal man, a normal, honorable human being, just simply explaining himself. So I wanted to go through this, and then I wanted to get your opinion at the end. Is Joe Rogan pandering? Is he kowtowing? Is he giving in to the radical left? Or is Joe Rogan playing a smart poker hand and defending himself in the right way? You decide, ladies and gentlemen. You be the absolute judge, jury, and executioner next on episode 136 of the American Reveille Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is episode 136 of the American Reveille Podcast. Okay, anyway, I did my best. I know I tried to be like an announcer person like Joe Rogan is, but I kind of just ended up sounding like a pro wrestling announcer, which is what I'll always end up sounding like. I'll always end up sounding like Jesse Ventura. I'm Jesse Ventura. I was the governor of Minnesota. I was a Navy SEAL. I spend a lot of time cracking conspiracy theories. Yeah. Listen, Jesse Ventura. That's what, anyway, I can't keep going. I hope you enjoyed my Jesse Ventura. If you want more of it, request it in the comment section below. In fact, I ordered some pretty cool stuff. Before we get into this, you're really, really going to like. I ordered what's called like an Elgato. It's a soundboard. So it's going to have 15 customizable LED keys. I'm going to be able to program this sucker. And actually, since I don't have a producer and I got sick and tired of not having production functions, I'm going to be able to program in production functions. I'll be able to hit a button and all kinds of effects will come up, sound effects, noise effects, on-screen graphics, the whole shebang. This will also mean that I can move from this. I'm still obviously going to do this on an almost daily basis, but I'm going to start once or twice a week developing a live stream. I don't know what platform I'm going to do it on yet. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be on Facebook. It might be on Gab. It might be Rumble. Maybe I'll subscribe to that Rumble pack and try to build up my Rumble through live streams. I don't know. Maybe it'll be on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com. They do a live stream as well. Either way, I don't know. Maybe I'll start a Twitch. I know that. I'm trying to build a Telegram. I have a couple interns. I might get a young intern and have them start building up our Twitch, or not Twitch, but our Telegram. I'm not sure yet. By the way, if you'd like to intern for the American Reveille LLC, that's right. I'm not just some jackass with a podcast. I own American Reveille LLC, and I can offer you an internship. Got a skill set? Email me, jameslane@AmericanReveille.com. Not only do you get an internship from me, but by the time you're done with your internship, I'll have my PhD, which means you'll get a letter of recommendation from a doctor. So if anything, if you want some value exchange, if you not only want to help a patriotic company, whether that's through graphic design, videography, if you're an animator, email me right now. All right. Email me right now. I have this amazing idea brewing and I need some animators. Anybody looking, any college student, any young person, anybody trying to break into a certain business who's going to need that letter of recommendation, that internship, you email me. I have something to offer you if you have something to offer me. Folks, check the description section below for all of our social media. We're on Gab. We're on Parler. We're everywhere. All right. We're shadow banned. It's hard to get around that, but that's okay. Sign up for the newsletter. That's where you're going to get the latest information firsthand, the first available information, because in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start the $200 grand prize sticker competition. I'm going to need your address. I'm going to need to send you the stickers. We got special gift swag bags that we need to send out. And you're going to hear about where to send your information to first through the newsletter. So if you want a chance at winning $200, listen, I don't have a 1 million person following. You got a pretty good chance of winning $200, Jacko. Check out the newsletter description section below. Signing up is the best way to get your first head start. Plain and simple. All right. Everything's in the description section. You can get it there. You love the Dogecoin to the moon? Well, send me some of your Dogecoin. AmericanReveille.com. Go to the support us section. You can find the support us section in the description section below as well. I got a freaking QR code right there. Clink. Don't want to do it that way? I got the numeral code. You can send me Dogecoin. I don't need. I appreciate it. I'd love some of your money. I would. And we'll put it right back into the American Reveille podcast and spread this baby right across the US of A and empower patriots everywhere to wake folks up with this beautiful, beautiful information delivered to you in pill form, in the form of entertainment, shifting the narrative to the right. That's how we're affecting this. So if you want to send me money, that's fine. But if you don't, you can send me that Dogecoin, that sweet Dogecoin, baby. Send me the coin with the Shibu Inu right on the front. I want thousands of Shibu Inus right now. Dogecoin to the moon, baby. I should start one of those stonks. This is the stonk channel, folks. We're not doing politics anymore. It's all about stonks, cryptocurrency, Okay, we're not really doing that. But if you want to send me some, support us tab in the AmericanReveille.com or right below, AmericanReveille.com or right below in the description section in the support us tab. Guys, thank you so much. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Share this. Leave a comment. Notification bell. Subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating. I'm finally, after 100 plus episodes, all right. I know it says we're on episode 136, but some stuff got numbered weird. We're actually like 200 plus episodes right now. Right? Like 200 plus. I just picked a number and stuck with it so we could fix the count. All right. But we're on like 200 plus. And finally, because I'm not a butt kisser trying to get a plug, finally, we're talking about Joe Rogan. And we're talking about Joe Rogan clarifying his comments. Give me that 5-star rating, guys. Apple Podcasts. It's worth it. Moves me right up that rating, right up the Apple Podcast rankings. More patriots get to see what we're doing. They get to see what we're doing. They get to wake up and you get to have that good feeling inside that you did your part. You got to do your patriotic mission for the day. Spread the word of the American Reveille podcast. Joe Rogan's clarifying his comments, folks. This is straight from the Daily Wire, run by Ben Shapiro. The author of this article is Paul Boyce, maybe Boyce, not Boyce. Paul Boyce, April 29th, 2021, dailywire.com. He is clarifying his comments. Whoa! I'm not an anti-vax person. Did he say that because he's pandering to the left? Or did he say that to get the heat off of his back? You let me know. Let's read. After a string of sharp rebukes on Twitter and from Dr. Anthony Fauci himself, The great pitcher that he is. Popular podcast host Joe Rogan clarified his comments from earlier this week, in which he suggested that young, healthy people shouldn't get the COVID-19 vaccine. In an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience on Thursday, the comedian admitted that he's not a doctor and that young people could still spread the virus despite being at low risk of death. Quote, "I'm not an anti-vax person," Rogan said. "In fact, I said I believe they're safe. I encourage many people to take them. I just said if you're young and healthy, you don't need it." Their argument was that you need it for other people, but that's a completely different conversation. And yeah, that makes sense. Rogan said clickbait media coverage blew his comments out of proportion. "I'm not a doctor. I'm a fucking moron. I'm a cage fighting commentator. I'm not a respected source of information, even for me. But I at least try to be honest about what I'm saying," he said, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter. All right. And this shouldn't even be a story. This shouldn't even be a story because they literally take clips, right? You think Anthony Fauci, the freaking crypt keeper, the crypt keeper's keeper. Do you think he sat down and listened to the Joe Rogan Experience? Do you think Anthony Fauci sat down at his office, at the Office of Virology or wherever the hell his desk is, and he lit up a fat joint and he's just sitting back there? Let's listen to what Rogan has to say. I'm Dr. Fauci. Let me, did you think he cut a hole in his mask to take a hit of that joint when he sat there? Dr. Fauci, I love that Rogan. He's such a hoot. Yeah, right. He's not listening. People put these clips together and then they're like little underling minions and then they report up to the top. All right. But they're not reporting facts. They're reporting their clips. It's literal. And when he says clickbait, he's talking about that. He's talking about them putting together nonsensical, non-factual groupings of what people say to misrepresent the truth. And that is the truth. During his podcast on Tuesday, Rogan received criticism on social media when he said that both his children got COVID-19 and they did fine, seemingly arguing that he would not have his children take the shot. Would you have yours? My 1.5-year-old's not getting the shot. Are you high? But if you're like 21 years old and you say to me, should I get vaccinated? I'll go, no. Are you healthy? Are you a healthy person? Like, look, don't do anything stupid, but you should take care of yourself, Rogan said. You should, if you're a healthy person and you're exercising all the time and you're young and you're eating well, like, I don't think you have to worry about this. Both my children got the virus. It was nothing. I mean, I hate to say that if someone's children died from this, it would be terrible. I'm sorry if that even happened. I'm not in any way diminishing that, but I'm saying the personal experience that my children had with COVID was nothing. All right. Obviously, Rogan's going to get demonized for that. I think that's a personal choice for families, right? The government shouldn't force you or your children to take this shot. You remember the last episode 135, when I talked about possible neurological disorders caused by prion, some prion disease that could be caused or something. It's speculation. It's a possibility. It's a maybe, but it's still a study. Questions still need to be asked. You should question everything. You should never just silently comply with what the government has to tell you. Joe Rogan didn't, because that's his personal decision, his personal opinion. And last time I checked, this is still a free country and we're still entitled to friggin' have those. But it's amazing that that's controversial. This is what he said. That even saying, I'm not going to inject my child with a vaccine. It's controversial. It's crazy, he concluded. Because again, we're not talking about even the flu that we just found out killed 22,000 people last year. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something that's not statistically dangerous for children, but yet people still want you to get your child vaccinated. It's crazy to me. Like you should be vaccinated if you're vulnerable. I don't know about you folks, but that sounds like common sense to me. Does it sound like common sense to you? It sounds to me kind of like Joe's just trying to explain himself out like a normal human being. I don't think he's pandering to the left there. Do you think he's playing a psychology game? Do you think he's manipulating the press in that state? Or do you think Joe Rogan just wings it? I happen to feel like Joe Rogan is a little smarter and a little more strategic than he puts forward. There's no man or woman on earth who builds themselves up to $150, $200 million net worth just winging it. Doesn't happen. You don't just wing it to the top. You can wing some things, but there's a grand strategy behind every successful person. All right, everyone. These are some Twitter quotes. Did some research and found out that Joe Rogan is in fact not a doctor. According to the CDC recommends you get vaccinated for COVID-19 as soon as you're eligible. Over 230 million doses of the 19 vaccine were administered in the United States from December 14th, 2020 through April 26, 2021. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. COVID-19 vaccines were evaluated in tens of thousands of participants in clinical trials. The vaccine met FDA's rigorous scientific standards for safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality needed to support emergency use authorization. This is coming from the CDC, though everything they did was 2 bazillion times quicker than what they normally do. So there are risks. There are questions we should be asking. Is it safe? Most likely. Could it not be safe? There's a possibility. Do we know yet? No. But we have to find out. We have to go through. The statistics are still low, and we don't know what's going to happen. Could there be long-term effects? Sure. Could there not be long-term effects? Sure. But we can't be censored, right? We can't be squelched or silenced from asking the question. If you don't want to take the vaccine, if you believe that the vaccine will get you sick, you're entitled to that belief, and you're entitled to do whatever you want to do with the health of your family. That's America. That is the world we live in. All right. I'm a little less anti-vax than that. But at the same time, I respect you. And on the right, where I live in my part of the right, I respect you in your part, and I expect you to respect me in my part. And we have civil conversations about this like adults, not like the left does, like insane children, but like the right should be doing, like adults, ladies and gentlemen, you and I having an adult conversation about vaccines and COVID-19 and Joe Rogan, apparently. On Wednesday, Dr. Anthony Fauci said that younger people getting the vaccine is to prevent the spread of the disease. Quote, you're worried about yourself getting infected and the likelihood that you're not going to get any symptoms. But you can get infected and will get infected if you put yourself at risk. And even if you don't have any symptoms, you're propagating the outbreak because it's likely that you, even if you have no symptoms, that you may inadvertently and innocently then infect someone else who might infect someone who really could have a problem with a severe outcome, said Fauci. So if you only want to worry about yourself and not society, then that's okay. You look at that guilt trip. You're not even Jewish. I'm Jewish. I know what a guilt trip is, Fauci. You're not good at it. But if you're saying to yourself, even if I get infected, I could do damage to somebody else, even if I have no symptoms at all. And that's the reason why you've got to be careful and get vaccinated. Dr. Fauci, I think himself may have a prion disorder going on right now. And him and Joe Biden may share that characteristic. And I would recommend that the White House doctor look into that immediately, folks. I don't think Joe Rogan's at fault here, though. Like I said earlier, I think he's a little sharper than people realize. But he does spend 90% of his podcast drunk and high. And he wouldn't be mad that I said that because he'd say, yeah, I do. I paid tons of money to smoke a bunch of weed, drink a bunch of booze, and talk to some really cool people. And so when you do that, stuff comes out of your mouth. Welcome to America, ladies. Drink free, ladies and gentlemen. That is episode 136 of the American Reveille Podcast. All right. Let me know in the comment section below or by email, jameslane@americanreveille.com. Let me know. Do you believe that Joe Rogan's pandering to the left? Has Joe Rogan sold out? Is Joe Rogan a pawn of the left and the left-wing culture, the woke ideology? Or has he done the right thing? Did he stand up like a man, like a woman, and say what should be said at the right time while not selling out? You let me know in the comment section below, guys. And stick around just for a couple minutes. I put together a little ad. If you aren't convinced yet, a little ad is coming up right now for Life Change Tea. It's a great ad. It'll tell you why I like it. Life Change Tea. You can get it at getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Promo code James for free shipping handling. I'm telling you, folks, it makes a giant difference. Take my word for it. I appreciate you guys listening. Please, please, please remember, sign up on all the social medias, sign up on Odyssey, sign up for whatever you have to make sure you can follow, to make sure you can share, to make sure that you can subscribe and hit that notification bell. Even if you're not on Apple Podcasts, go on Apple Podcasts real quick. Look up American Reveille Podcast. If you're never going to go on there, just go on there real quick. Give me the 5-star rating and pop off. Bye-bye. All right. You don't have to do Apple. You don't, but I do. I have to reach these patriots, folks. They're on Facebook. They're on Apple. They're trapped throughout big tech, and I have to free them. I have to free their minds. I need your help, ladies and gentlemen. Please. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Guys, I couldn't do any of this without you. I am forever in your debt, and I'm forever grateful that you've allowed me to spread the word for you. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great, great, great rest of your day, and I will see you in episode 137 of the American Reveille Podcast. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. I have a pack of it right here. Listen, as many of you know, I've been working really, really hard to get back in shape, okay? I was thinking lately, right? And you should probably be thinking about it too. With how crazy everything is, with how unstable the government seems, with all of these socialists, all of this leftist insanity. You would just call it insanity. Who knows when the hell I'm going to have to run, or when I'm going to have to, I don't know, save my family from something. I don't know. So I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, feeling crappier and crappier and crappier. My diet was junk. I started by cleaning up the diet. I've been working out more and more, but I was still bloated. I was still gassy. I was still feeling crappy. And I finally decided to pull out an old trick in the book. All right. Something that I used for weight loss in the past. And I was thinking about a cleanse, right? Maybe take something that would help me evacuate my bowels a little bit, if you know what I mean. But you know, what I found was something different. I found Life Change Tea. All right. www.getthetea.com. I found this Life Change Tea. And instead of a 7-day or a 14-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, what they were offering was a daily tea, like a daily delicious iced tea, not some kind of weird hot tea or some kind of nasty tasting thing. No, this was a health supplement. All right, I started reading about it, and they were talking about all these herbs, these ancient herbs, right? Look at this: organic blessed thistle herb, malva leaf, organic marshmallow leaf. I didn't even know what the heck a marshmallow leaf was. Apparently, it's for anti-inflammatory and antioxidants and stuff. I looked some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Milk thistle extract that cleans your liver and kidneys. I mean, there's all these different things in here, but I was happy. I was attracted to it because it was all natural. It was put together in the US, right? Obviously, they've got to get spices from these very special places. Not spices, but you know, these special herbs. They got to get them from special places around the world, but it's all done here. It's packaged, put together, and blended accordingly right here in the USA. All right. And I tried it, and it was delicious. Look at this. I'm old school. I fill a jug. You see this big jug right here? And for those listening over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything like that, I'm holding this big gallon jug that used to be full of water. See those tea bags floating in the bottom there? This was full, guys. But I've been drinking it every day, twice a day, 8 ounces. Take a listen. Pour it in the glass. Oh yeah, that's not a sound effect. That's real. Look at this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And mabuhay to all my Filipino friends out there. I have the mint flavor. It's actually really good. I really like it. It's yummy. Look, this stuff's good. I can take that right now. I'm going to do 2 hours of podcast recording after this. It's not like me drinking that's going to send me running to the back. It's gentle. It's good stuff, all right? So it's got all these herbs. They cleanse you out. They make you regular again. They clean the toxins out of your system. They help you clean the extra waste that's been stored up in the colon, the stuff that's not healthy for you, not good for you. It keeps the bloat down. I don't feel so swollen. You know how you feel like swollen sometimes? Your fingers hurt? Yeah, you don't feel like that. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So it's good stuff, guys. Listen, you have to go to getthetea.com. GETTHETEA.com. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Promo code James, folks. Promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. It's not expensive. It's good stuff, all right? It helps maintain your health. It cleanses your body from all kinds of toxins, all kinds of things that can cause colds and flus and different things like that. It keeps the bugs out real good. It helps your digestion, all right? Just like I've been saying, my bloats, I feel so much better, guys. I feel so much better. And just in this journey that I'm taking to get back in shape, I really feel like it's helping me immensely. It really is. I really think so. So try it out, guys. Life Change Tea. You just saw me drink a bunch of it. You just saw my almost empty jug. That's, by the way, like the third jug. All right. That's not the first jug. Not the first jug at all. Trust me. It's good stuff, guys. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to thank me. All right. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Get your Life Change Tea. Use the promo code James. Free shipping and handling. Thanks, guys.